one big sector where we get financing from is the debt markets, the bond markets. So we have financed some of our residential portfolios through bonds, which are mainly bought by German investors, but now also there's UK investors starting to look at the bond market because micro living is infrastructure in Germany, so it can be put into that pocket, and it has a lot of subsidies. But on the debt side, normal bank financing in Germany, above all in the residential part, is very available. So we're getting normally about 80%, up to 80%, at around 2.2% interest. So there's a lot of banks who are looking into the residential loan lending sector.
So you're saying 80% LTV or 80% of your financing needs?
Depends.
Okay.
I mean, up to 80% LTV.
All right. Okay.
Anybody else on the financing side, availability of, difficulty, or?
Well, I think in the universe that we work in, to a certain degree, it can get a bit more binary, right? You have a lot of German banks that, if they give you terms, they give you fantastic terms, but if they're not too convinced, they won't give you terms at all. So it makes it a bit more difficult. But I think if you work hard, you present your case well, and you have a good product, you will have a good chance of getting financing out there. And the other thing which was mentioned, right, the bond markets, there are a few players out there, also players in our universe that kind of refinance on the bond market, and that's quasi-equity for those guys, and they make quite a good killing out there. But yeah, it's not a no-brainer. I mean, German banks are not too adventurous in general, but they also have pressure to deploy their money at the moment. And as an alternative, if you go smaller, you always have the universe of kind of Sparkassen and cooperative banks, but that helps that you speak German and kind of can be regional.
And development finance for those developing, how redevelopment possible, not possible? Is that why you've elected to go down the route you've gone with corporate fund with using the bond? I'm just wondering, in lots of areas, development funding is still an issue, but is it still an issue there in Germany as well?
Well, I think you have to be a bit more creative, right? They're like, you go into a universe of debt funds, then you go into a universe of family offices that focus on those kind of sectors to kind of deploy money. But yeah, it's difficult unless you have a core-ish product to go to a bank and get good development financing.
Okay.
And we have the German fund, which is a special segment, and they are actually positive in lending at the moment, also in development.